Welcome to the Famous for Nothing podcast. This is episode 40, also known as 40. Got Jose here, and it's been a while since you've been back. Sexy Moose. Or Sexy Raccoon.
The Sexy Moose.
Sexy Raccoon.
It's been a while. I feel like I've been kind of, I don't know, pushing this back. I've been meaning to come back. It's just like, for one reason or another, like I get busy or some unexpected crap happens and all of a sudden like I gotta go do that. But today I had a little bit of time, so I figured I'd pay you a visit.
Hell yes. Nice to see you again, Jose. We were talking about a few things. That game, Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
Going God mode.
Oh
and Mexico. And one thing I was wanting to ask about, I'm gonna start off with Mexico because that's the first thing we started with. I wanted to ask this when you were saying this, but I was like, I'll just ask it on the podcast. So you're talking about like you having a board game and talking about being a kid and being sent off to the store because there was like stores on every corner. And let me ask this: how does that work in Mexico? Do you have to have a license or a permit?
Man, look,
for a business?
At the age of 6, 7, when I was making my little trips to the store, I was picking up beer, all right, for my dad or my uncles, and nobody gave a shit, dude. Nobody asked questions. They're like, oh, okay, he's just gonna pick up beer. I'm talking about like big 40s too, not just like little bottles. So, I mean, I don't think, obviously there's loss, but I don't think it's a thing where everybody's kind of like worried about it. It's just everybody does their thing. You gotta survive somehow, so it's kind of understood that, you know, you're gonna find ways of doing your stuff.
I feel like if I was in Mexico and I saw a little kid come in and he bought beer, a 40, and he walked out, I'd be like, okay, that's Mexico. Like, I don't think it would have surprised me.
like how old is your kid?
6.
6. By then, I already got in a fist fight with 2 dogs, bro. It's on my way to the store. All right. So that is a common thing. Obviously, things have changed now. You know, like I went to Mexico a few years ago, and I feel like
you actually live in Mexico. When he said he got some time, he flew down here to come see me.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like I grew up in Mexico for a good while, so you know I have a lot of memories of going to the store and facing all the perils. Like every time you get sent to the store, man, it's like you could have made a movie out of it, man. Like the Hobbits ain't got shit on me, bro. The stuff that I had to go through just to go get like a fucking kilo of like tortillas and stuff, dude. And it's not just the fact that I had to make it to the store. Like I had to make it back home with the stuff, you know. I got chased by so many dogs. I got chased by a fucking turkey one time. Let's see. Obviously, there's like gangsters that you gotta avoid. There's certain fucking streets that you can't go down because you know like you're gonna get shit.
Okay, so what happens with a gangster? Or as a kid, a gangster comes up to you like a 6-year-old. Like, is he trying to punk you out? Or?
Yeah, like I feel like most of the time they just, you know, they know you're a kid, so they use like fear on you, like a fucked up Batman or something, you know, try to get you to like give them the money or whatever the hell you're carrying. I wouldn't think that they're actually intentionally trying to beat you up, but I have seen people get beat up. So
just trying to rob you?
Yeah,
whatever you got from the store.
One time we went to the store with my cousin. It is funny because like it was his birthday, so they gave him for the sake of argument, instead of like pesos, we're gonna talk about like dollars. So let's say, for example, your uncle comes by, it's your birthday, gives you $100, and for a kid, that's a shit ton of fucking money, dude. So you know he's all happy, and we go to the store, and he buys probably like what will be like $50 worth of like tokens for the arcade, and he puts them all in one fucking arcade machine. He's got like at that point to us it was like unlimited fucking credits. So this one kid, you know, this older kid comes by, and it was a Street Fighter arcade machine. He comes by, challenges my cousin. My cousin beats the shit out of him, like the absolute dog shit out of him. Dude gets mad. He reaches up on top of the arcade and turns it off with all his credits in there. So like, yeah, and then the store owner, obviously, she's like, well, that wasn't my fault, so you ain't getting shit back. So he goes back all sad, and then on our way back, we had to cross this little creek. So there was like a little bridge, like a makeshift bridge. And this motherfucker comes out from under the bridge like a goddamn troll.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was waiting on us. He wasn't happy at the fact that he lost to my cousin. So he comes out from under the bridge and proceeds to punch my cousin in the stomach and take the rest of his fucking money on his birthday, bro.
So it Mexican Batman.
Basically.
Damn. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, that's common, I guess.
Speaking of, like, you talking about money is a lot to a kid, whatever. My son has a piggy bank, and inside of his piggy bank, he probably has a good amount of money. He has more like 5s and 20s more than like dollar bills and stuff. But I let him take care of his own money. If he ever wants to get something from the store or whatever, or at school, like, he can always take it out and buy something with it. He's responsible for his own money. Okay. So he was getting money for something at school. He said he really wanted it, and I was like, okay, whatever. You know, he got his own money. And then he said that first he got $1, right? And I think it was what he wanted was like $2. I was like, you gotta get $2. Then he brought it back at $5. And then I was like, yeah, you can use that. And that was the end of it, I thought. Anyway, my girlfriend's taking out the trash, and when she takes out the trash, she opens it up, and she sees a $5 bill in the trash. And I was like, she's like, Phoenix, why is that $5 bill in the trash can? He goes, because it's broken.
What?
Yeah. And he took it out, and it's like torn on the top, whatever, just like a little tear in it. And she's like, you don't ever throw away money. I was telling him too, he was like, yes, you don't throw away money. Like, you're responsible for your own money, but if you ever throw money away again, like, you're not going to be responsible for no more. Because now I'm wondering, like, how much money has he been throwing away that has, like, little tears and stuff in it? Because he's had a good amount of money, and I've not checked his piggy bank, but probably should now.
That's one of the things that, like, as a kid, you don't really think about, I guess. You're just like, oh, okay, it's ripped, it's worthless.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want that one, it's broken. I'm like, that's not broken, you know? But I want to hear about you going beast mode. Actually, no, just tell them where you went to first.
All right, so I know, like, in the previous podcast, like, I've talked about how, you know, I go to the competitions for Tekken, and that's been, like, a big part of my life for a few years now. And like, it started as a hobby, but I feel like now it's, you know, kind of evolving to something else. Like, I can actually see a future and maybe, like, profiting at some point. Not necessarily as a professional gamer, but there's other opportunities there where maybe I could, you know, sometime in the future make a profit from. So I went to Vegas, you know, last month. And we went to compete at EVO, which, if anybody knows what that is, or doesn't know what that is, I should say, is the equivalent of, like, the World Cup for fighting games. Like, this is as good as it gets, man.
Mm-hmm. If you look at EVO, by the way, if someone who doesn't know what it is, you look it up. It is like thousands of people in an arena, all watching people, like, compete against each other in games.
Oh yeah, man,
it's insane. Actually,
it really is. Like, I feel like I watched it on, you know, obviously I watched the live streams for like a few years since I've been following, you know, fighting games and stuff. Which all that, like, my passion for fighting games, like, started in Mexico. You know? So watching EVO, like, doesn't know justice compared to, like, when you're actually there. I've been wanting to go to EVO for like almost 10 years, I guess, at this point. And finally I got the chance to go. And it's surreal, man. Like, I've been in big competitions. But I can tell you, as a Dragon Ball Z fan, like, because I know you love Dragon Ball just as much as I do, probably, if not even more.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that movie here in a minute.
Oh yeah, I've been saving that one for you. But it is the equivalent of the Tournament of Power. Like, in the Tournament of Power, you got different universes coming in and, you know, competing against each other. At EVO, you have people from all over the fucking world, bro, coming in and competing. Like, it never hits you. Like, me telling you, it's not gonna be the same.
Which guy was it? And where's he from? I think he's a Tekken player, but he's like from another country. He got delayed and all this other shit.
Oh, that's Arslan Ash.
Yeah.
Like,
You want to explain his story? Because that one was crazy.
So, for the longest time, the Koreans dominated Tekken. Like,
it's still kind of do like every competitive game. Like
the Koreans were on top of their game, man. They even got like a technique named after them, the Korean backdash, because they're the kind of the pioneers that discovered this. I wouldn't even say like hidden game mechanic, but it's more like an unintentional game mechanic. You know, so they're the ones that kind of, in a sense, discovered it and spread it all over the world. But so for many years, the Koreans dominated. Japan was like a close second, and maybe then the U.S. like after that. But a few years back, like out of nowhere, this guy from Pakistan comes out, and he just starts delivering piping hot ass whoopings, bro. Like it, you know, this guy just came out of nowhere. It's, you know, like we didn't even know that there were people, that there was a Tekken community in Pakistan, basically. You know, and then that kind of started opening up the floodgates for like all these other countries. All of a sudden they started coming out of nowhere. Oh, you know what? Like Peru's got like really good players now. You know, like South America has like good Tekken players. I think there's a community somewhere like in Africa, like in mid-Africa, that apparently has really good Tekken players. So all these like smaller countries or countries that you would not think of, they got really good players, you know. But I feel like if it wasn't for Austin Nash, like, kind of being the underdog and dominating, we might have not even been aware that there's other people other than Korea, U.S., and Japan.
Yeah, it wasn't like he spent the last of every money he had, and then he got like plane delayed, and it was just
there was like,
and he showed up to a tournament like as he was like supposed to be coming on.
Yeah, so one of the stories is basically him trying to make it to EVO. And, you know, I think he mentions something about like his plane getting delayed and then getting detained by immigration over his visa, his visitor visa. And he was basically like sleeping, or not sleeping, but he was detained like at the airport. So it was like no sleep, no food.
Didn't he tell them that like they asked him why he's here, and he's like, I'm trying to compete in a video game tournament? They're like, you're full of shit.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah. They're like, yeah, kid, whatever. You know, but so he had so many setbacks. And finally, when everything got cleared up, you know, they give him the go ahead, and he gets on a taxi, and he made it to the tournament basically as they're calling his name to like go play. You know, and he goes up. He's, you know, starving because he hasn't eaten in like the better part of 24 hours. He hasn't had any sleep, and he still somehow manages to like beat the crap out of everybody, and, you know, becomes a world champion at that point. So that's like.
What, did he actually win EVO?
Yeah, he won. Damn. I think he won. He won that year, and I think he actually won EVO Japan too. And he started just beating like all these tournaments, dude. So for the longest time, he was dominating until this year, which was amazing. He got taken by his sparring partner like during the tournament. So I think he made third this year. And he ended up losing to his training partner, and his training partner got second, and he got beat by a Korean. So the Koreans took back Tekken this year.
Damn. That is pretty cool, though. Like, it's not the championship, but, like, you know, right before the championship, you and your sparring partner are, like, you know, going head-to-head.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks when you got to get a team kill. Because it's happened to, like, you know, me and, like, my crew a couple of times. Like, I had to take out Edgar a few times. One time he took me out, you know. And then, obviously, like, there's been times when I get taken up by Luis, which before EVO we went to a tournament called the Southern Fried Tournament or something like that. And that's another, like, small story where we signed up, and it was sort of like a last minute thing too. We showed up, and it's like a tournament, but it's also a convention. And you know, I'm sitting there trying to warm up, you know, playing a few matches or whatever, and this guy comes up and he's like, hey, do you guys know who Machete is? Because, you know, that's my gamer tag. Like, yeah, that's me, man. What's up? Oh, you gotta fight my buddy, like, you know, in the first round. And he's shitting bricks over there, man, because like it shows on the on Smash GG, which is like where you register for like all these tournaments. there's an option that if you click on it, it gives you like the projected like wins, I guess. So according to the projections, I was supposed to like end up getting first place. I was supposed to win. And I'm sitting there like laughing because this guy's never even seen me, but he's already shitting bricks at the fact that I'm supposed to win.
I feel like it's dangerous to even look at that while you're in a competition.
Yeah, I used to make the mistake of looking at the bracket and looking up like the players that I'm supposed to face, and I found that I did that for a good while, and I was kind of psyched myself out. So like now, like I don't even look at the bracket. Even like during tournaments, I try to avoid conversations about the bracket. You know, I want to go in there like with a clear mind and no predictions or no conceptions of like what the opponent has to bring or whatever, or his skill level. So I'll just like take everything, in the moment. Like I don't worry about looking up stats or gameplays or anything. I just go in, do my thing. If I win, I win. If I don't, I'll try to put up a fight anyway.
Me and my girlfriend's actually been talking about you not too long ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We're like, man, Jose. That's it. No, we was actually talking about Dragon Con.
Oh yeah.
Because talking about like, who to go Dragon Con with, I was like, Jose, his wife, or whoever he goes with.
Which last year I placed third at Dragon Con at Tekken.
Yeah.
So I feel like I didn't do too bad. I feel like my Tekken life is not too bad, my competition wise. But I mean, going back to EVO, I actually managed to make top 20%. So for my first time being at EVO and the kind of skill that is,
the best in the world.
Oh yeah, dude! Like everybody there is good, man. Even the suckiest player, they're pretty good. I feel like all my matches, even like, casual matches, were sort of like a test. I had to adapt. I had to like really kind of get in my opponent's head and all that stuff. So I feel like I learned a lot. Just playing different people from like, different places, like all over the world. The guy that took me out, he was like extremely nervous when he went to like shake my hand and stuff at the beginning of the match. Like he's shaking, and I kind of try to use that against him because I'm like, oh, this guy's way more nervous than I am. And I feel like if it was a longer set, I would have probably overtaken him. But at that point, he had better knowledge than I did. So, but yeah, man, the EVO feels like the real life tournament of power, bro. And so, going beast mode and stuff, or Ultra Instinct as it was put. There were a couple of times in my matches where like it looked like I was about to lose. And like out of nowhere, I just made like huge comebacks. Like I was making like really good reads and stuff. Excuse me. I was making really good reads. I was making really good decisions on the stuff that I was doing. And the thing is, like, I was literally just kind of reacting. Like at that point, my mind was just kind of somewhere else. And it's kind of weird to describe because I remember at least 2 instances where like I'd get this weird like feeling like in my chest, almost like a big adrenaline rush, but not quite. And then all of a sudden, like I was just reacting. Like it's not like usually, like when you're playing a game, you're kind of like in your head kind of figuring stuff out. Oh, I'm going to do this, and if he does this, I'm going to do that. At that point, man, like it's almost like my body was just reacting.
Ultra Instinct.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking about what the hell just happened, like in my head, because even to me, I'm like, I should have lost that one. I don't know what happened, but I should have lost that one. And at one point, Edgar's like, dude, I don't know what it was, but like I was watching your match, dude, and holy shit, man, like it's like you went Ultra Instinct. Like you were losing, and out of nowhere, like you were dodging everything. You were making really good reads, and you were like punishing every attack.
I feel like if you're about to die, whatever, and you know you're about to win, and then like you get like one good hit on a combo on that guy, it probably makes them like fucking nervous as hell too. Like starts making them fuck up and whatnot. Cause like, say if I'm just full off and I've got you down, you're pretty much dead, right? And I'm like, okay, overconfidence kind of. And then you just get like a one good combo on me, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, I just gotta finish him, and type of thing. And then you just fuck them up from there. Like
it happens, man. Even in like non-competition settings, you know, even like training sessions. There's been times when you're like a pixel away from dying, and you know you made really good comebacks. And I feel like obviously most of the best stories come from like people who made extremely good comebacks, dude. Mm-hmm. So. Like one of my matches, I think it was the one before I actually got taken out. I was kind of tripping out a little bit because I watched the guy play, and he looked like he was pretty solid and very confident, man. Mm-hmm. And I shit you not, right before the match, because I played like 3 matches back to back, and usually, you know, you got like a little bit of waiting time, and people try to use that to kind of recover like mentally a little bit. And the organizer was like, "Are you ready to play again?" I'm like, "Nah, man. I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, you gotta give me a few minutes." Mm-hmm. And I legit went to the bathroom just to kind of clear my head, like, you know, on the way over there and on the way back. Like, I didn't really need to go, but I needed to clear my head a little bit because I was kind of a bit intimidated.
Yeah, take a shit.
I was basically shitting bricks at that point, you know. But I kept telling myself, like, no, like, I made it this far, you know. I've already surpassed my goal, because my goal has always been, if I get one win, I did good. Like, you know, even if I win, like, one set or one round, you know, like, I just want to win at least a round, and then I'm good. Like, I never set out to, oh, yeah, I'm going to beat this guy, and then, you know, I'm going to be like the strongest like player in here, or like I'm going to dominate this tournament. I feel like that's the wrong mindset to kind of go in with. So I set like smaller goals. If I get one good hit, or if I land like a ridiculous move, then I'm good. And at that point, you know, like I said, I was kind of shitting bricks a bit. So I started thinking to myself, I'm like, I already kind of surpassed my goal. Like my initial goal was win one match. And then all of a sudden the trip is not wasted. You know, the trip was worth it. And at that point, like, I've already beaten like 2 or 3 other guys. And I started thinking it, you know, from a different perspective. I'm like, these guys came to Vegas from other places just like I did. And I sent them home. You know, I beat them, I sent them home. So I started to get a little more hyped. Like, yeah, they went home because of me. Like, all right, you know, let's go. Let's see what we can do about this guy. Is whatever. If I win, I win. And so, you know, I'm playing, and he's got like his crew with him. Like, he's got like his entourage. And anytime he landed a hit, you'd hear them like cheering him on and stuff. And then at one point, I think one of them mentioned something like, "Send his ass home." And that kind of triggered me. I was wearing headphones too, so like I was trying to block everything out. But you can still kind of hear, you know, a little bit. And I, for whatever reason, that kind of triggered me. And I'm like, I'm not going home, man. Like, I'm not going home. I don't want to go home yet. Like, and all of a sudden I get that fucking feeling again. Like, it's just like that burst like in my chest. And I'm like, all right, it's gonna happen. And I was like 3 moves ahead in my mind. I'm like, all right, he's probably gonna do this, and I need to be like this far apart from him so he can miss, and then I can get a good, you know, combo. But it all happened in like fractions of a second. And next thing you know, like, I beat him, and I beat him to the point where he got really salty. Like, he got up, and usually, you know, as good sportsmanship would say, hey man, you know, fist bump at least or something. This dude just like get straight up. He's like beat red. He don't even fucking acknowledges the tournament organizer. He starts walking away. You know, like,
you probably see that a lot too, don't you?
Oh man,
just like ragers.
funny enough, I don't think I've seen it as often, but I have seen people get really upset over like losing.
Mm-hmm.
But like it didn't register with me, you know, like that he got up and he was that upset. Up until Luis mentioned, it's like, man, like that guy was really pissed off. And then here comes Edgar. Yeah, man, he got really salty. He didn't even shake your hand. And I'm like, you know what? He didn't shake my hand. He just kind of got up and, you know, because like to me, like as soon as I beat him, I was still like awestruck. I'm like, I actually won. You know, this is the guy that I was fearing, and I actually won.
You got another step up.
Yeah, so there were multiple times during EVO when I guess I was just reacting. Like I would, and after that, like I've been trying to figure out how to just kind of tap into that. Because you know, just like Goku, when Vegeta asked him how he did it, he's like, I don't know. It just kind of happened. That's sort of like this. Like I don't know how I did it. It just kind of happened.
If you look to your left, that is the camera I got ready for you. So like he asked me for my GoPro, okay, to go to EVO, and I didn't care. But I think the problem with that is that there was a lot, like the footage on it wasn't full, but I mean it was like maybe 2 hours left or something like that. So I took all the memory from it and put it into an SD. But the problem is that SD didn't really have space either. It's just a bunch of bullshit. The only thing I put it on is my WD SD card, which is like tons of terabytes. Problem is I can't have the back of it the way the cable is. I don't have more than one slot for that. So in order to have that plugged in and to plug that in, I would have to transfer that into a smaller SD, like half of it, and then unplug my mouse and then plug it in unplug my keyboard, unplug my keyboard, then transfer that. I had to do it like 3 different times. It took almost the whole day.
I feel your pain because I was given like a small like Chromebook.
Yeah.
And it only has one USB port. So there's times when like I'm trying to transfer files or gameplay or something onto the, you know, the Chromebook, and I have to unplug my mouse because you know I only got one freaking USB port. So I kind of feel your pain on that.
I stayed up so long doing that too. Like which is probably why I fucking passed out. But I stayed up to make sure it got finished because he needed it the next day because he was leaving. And anyway. He asked me when I think it was after work or something if he can come get it. And I was like, yeah, man, I don't mind. And then I just fell asleep on my couch or on the bed, wherever I was at. And then I woke up, and the first thing I thought of was like, oh shit, Jose. And I messaged him. I was like, hey man, you haven't came by yet, right? He's like, yeah, dude, I knocked and you didn't answer.
Yeah, I was out here for at least a solid like 10 minutes, man.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Damn, that makes me feel even worse.
Like, I knocked at least like 3 really good times, you know. And I'm like, all right, you know, he's probably taking a dump or something, or you know, whatever. And then finally, I kind of just gave up because we had other stuff we had to do. Funny enough, I hadn't even finished packing at that point. Like I was left it to like the last minute. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go do that and see what I could come up with as far as a backup for that. But so we left, and as soon as I get back into my vehicle, I think Edgar's like, I don't think he's home. I'm like, nah, I think he's probably passed out, man. Like, it's all right. You know, we'll make it work. But
I feel bad, dude.
Don't feel too bad because I think that even if I had gotten it, I don't think that I would have had like much to record, and that's just because like everybody was so busy with everything that was going on. Like, you know, even on like day 2, we're still trying to take everything in. I think maybe it's a good thing that I didn't get the camera because we really don't have much footage of anything, even on our phones. You know, everybody was kind of just living in the moment, and for our first EVO, I feel like
in the moment's better.
Yeah, you know, you get to enjoy it a little better. You know, and so like now for next year, you know, if we end up going next year, I feel like we're gonna be a little bit more prepared, and you know, because I would like to have not just for EVO but any tournament. I talked about it with my teammates. Like, we need like a dedicated cameraman. You know, because as it is, I feel like everybody's kind of in that mindset that you're there to compete, and nobody's really worrying about taking pictures or video. You know, like you gotta focus on one thing.
Not only that, it's kind of a hard flex if you're walking around with a team and a cameraman.
Pretty much. Yeah,
it's a hard flex.
Yeah, I mean, either that or you come off like a fucking jerk, bro.
No, I'll be cool. I've been messaging the opponent. I'm like, so yeah, you heard you're facing the machete. How do you feel about that? And what is your game plan?
Like
no comment.
Post-fight interviews and everything. Where do you think you went wrong?
Yeah,
just kind of rubbing it in.
just getting them even more nervous.
Did you think you were gonna win against this guy? Dude, why did you even sign up?
And when I'm recording, I just get real close to him. Like I don't know if there's like a rule or whatever, but I get like some kind of pass so I can just get right next to him. So while he's playing against you, I'm just recording him like right here, and he's just like trying to avoid me. But no, that camera, it's clear now, but that counts.
Well, you know, I'll keep that in mind for the next. There's actually a tournament coming up in October. It's called the Competive, which, you know, if you're a Bloodsport fan, you know, that Van Damme movie, you kind of know what a Kumite is. But they've been doing it for at least a good 15 years. And last time we went, I think it might have been at the beginning of the year. But they're doing one again in October, and apparently that's going to be the final one. Like, after that, they're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, so hopefully we get to go to that one. Just, you know, it'd be a good send-off, really. Because I think that was the first major tournament that I actually went to. So it'd kind of be like a good thing, just, you know, be there one last time. That's actually where I ended up meeting the world champ Arsenal Nash, you know. I ended up playing him there just for fun. And at the time, like, the skill gap was fucking huge, man. It was amazing. I feel like anytime I've been to a tournament, at least the bigger ones, like, I come to find out that there's, like, you know, we always related to Dragon Ball because most of us are Dragon Ball fans. Like, I feel like there's, like, other, like, power levels, like, beyond what we think is possible. Like, the first time that I went, you know, well, I wouldn't say the first time, but the first time Jordan went, we ended up facing off against some pros. And I don't think he ever thought about, you know, the fact that he could face a pro. Because I remember his reaction. I'm like, oh, man, freaking Pork Chop's here. And he's like, what? Yeah, man, Pork Chop's here. And he kind of laughed it off. And then, like, he's standing right over there, bro. He looks over, and you can see, like, the change in his face. Like, if he had confidence in him at that point, like, everything just went away, dude, as soon as he saw Pork Chop. Because I don't think he realized that we basically interact with these pro players, like, all the time. You know, and which, you know, he might have been a bit starstruck just because these are people that if you Google them or if you, like, look it up on YouTube, they'll pop up right away, you know. Because they've been around for a while. But I remember fighting Pork Chop back then. And obviously, like, compared to, like, the skill that I have now, I was basically a scrub back then. But I thought I was okay. You know, you had that mentality where, well, you know, I'm not doing too bad. I'm winning a few matches online here and there. And it was the equivalent of, like, when Goku fought Beerus, how Beerus took him out of, like, 2 hits. Yeah, that was me after that match. I was literally just getting up out of the chair like Goku. And, like, I never imagined there was a power like this, you know. And that kind of, like, motivated me to just keep going at it. Because initially my goal was I'm going to do 3 tournaments and then I'm good. You know, that's kind of my bucket list, really. All right, I'm going to enter, like, a couple of Tekken tournaments. I'm going to enter 3 tournaments. And win or lose, whatever, I'm done. Yeah, here we are, like, you know, 6-7 years later, I'm still doing this. And, you know, even after EVO, my plan was actually to not retire, but kind of take a break from it. Because I remember I even mentioned it before. Like, yeah, man, whenever we come back from EVO, I'm just going to drop Tekken for a while. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to play other games. But as soon as I got taken out, like, I was a bit upset. It kind of did get me down for, like, 10 minutes. You know, like, I legit, like, I felt like I let so many people down. You know, but then I started rationalizing it, like, well, I surpassed my goal. I took out the one guy that I thought was like gonna give me the most trouble. Not only that, but I pissed him off. You know, I sent some people home, and I landed on. I think I made one. I placed like 193, which for Tekken they had 1,210 players. So to place like 193, that's still pretty damn good. You know, and then I started thinking, well, there's players from all over the world. There's, you know, all kinds of skill levels and stuff. So that's actually not bad. You know what? I didn't do too bad. And then like all of a sudden, like it just kind of like, I don't know, like reignited like that fire, I guess. And I'm like, and as soon as that happened, I'm like, you know what? Like I can't give it up, man. Because if I made it this far, like on my first try, I wonder where I'm gonna be like a year from now. You know,
or even like 3-4 years from now.
Yeah. So, you know, instead of giving it up, I've actually tried to approach it in a different way now. Like, you know, what I would consider my training sessions, I try to approach them differently now. I try to like be more analytical about the way that I'm playing or the way my opponent is playing. So, I guess my plans to leave Tekken kind of didn't go through. Instead, I can kind of see myself playing for many years, and especially now that we basically got Tekken 8 announced. So,
do you think it's Tekken 8 or Tekken Tag Team? Probably 8, huh?
It's probably gonna be 8, man.
Yeah.
Because they kind of have a trend where like they had Tekken 1, 2, and 3, and then Tag 4, 5, 6, Tag 2. So I guess if anything, if the trend keeps going, it's probably gonna be after like Tekken 9, if anything. But you know, we'll see.
So let's talk about that Dragon Ball movie. I'm not gonna lie, I thought you was gonna hate it. I thought you was gonna hate it, dude.
I went in there hating it, to be honest, bro. Like even when it got announced, I'm like, oh man, let's go on. All right, I'm gonna watch it anyway, just because. Well, first, because I know you're a Gohan fan, man. What were your thoughts?
Before or after?
Like before and after.
Before, I was not. My bar was very low. Because one is featuring Gohan, and I've been disappointed since the Cell.
Oh yeah,
we
had this conversation.
Yeah, and it's also CGI, so anime CGI doesn't really normally work out. And I don't know, I wasn't feeling like it was going to be really good, and I was prepared to be disappointed. So, but I guess afterwards I wasn't disappointed. There was definitely some weird shit in there. Cell came back, spoiler, but Cell is a giant, which I would prefer him if he wasn't a giant. And also, Cell is imperfect. He didn't get finished. Cell Max wasn't actually Max. He finished. He came out like second form basically.
Yeah. So,
Cell Max could probably take out a lot of people if he was actually fully finished. That's what they're saying. Like, hey, if Cell got finished, he could take out like Broly, Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, all them, if he was actually finished. Which is crazy to think of. I don't know. Gohan, I love Gohan in that movie. I don't like his new form too much. Beast Gohan, I think is what they call him.
Oh man, don't even get me started. Well, I'll give you my 2 cents here in a little bit.
It's literally just a fan-made movie canon. That's all it really is. Piccolo, what the fuck is up with his form? Like, I don't know.
I don't like the design, but I do love the fact that they finally gave him a higher power level. That they finally cut him a break.
Well, no Namekian's ever like transformed. I don't think, besides like Slug. I think, right? No, Slug didn't even transform. He just got big.
Yeah, that was like their staple go-to move. And even then, like it's always been stated, they don't necessarily get stronger. It's just bigger.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like Piccolo and Namekians probably shouldn't have a second form, maybe. But
well, technically, wasn't like 2 forms.
Was it?
Because when he first got the power, like he boosted up and he turned like yellow. And then by the end, that's when he turned orange and he got like buffer.
I thought the yellow and orange was the same.
No.
I don't know.
Because like at the end, like I guess he finally unlocks his because there's a whole thing that he mentions something about like, oh, you know, I thought that was it or whatever. And apparently I can power up even more and throw some more bullshit out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also getting tired of the movies a little bit because it's the same formula. Like it's they find a bad guy, he's really strong, they're not strong enough, so they get a new power level, new color change or whatever, and then they can win because of that.
I kind of half agree with you on that. Just because I don't think there's much more you can kind of go with a story that's all about fighting.
Well, the Battle of Gods ending, I love that ending. Like, yeah, he got a new form and stuff, but he lost, and he admitted to it. He's like, hey, and then it set up, you know, a new universe. It had a lot of stuff to it. But these movies are pretty much kind of standalone a little bit. I mean, Broly was, announced.
I think
so Broly's in it now, but still.
I think the only thing that we get out of, in a positive way, out of these movies,
more Dragon Ball.
Is more Dragon Ball, but also just the fact that you know, there's a lot of stuff that's becoming canon now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you know, Dragon Ball Z and down, I don't think any of those were canon. You know, but I don't, you know, like I guess I was trying to say, story wise, I think everything's gonna be about the same. Because, you know, it's all about finding a new power level, new bad guy, and then, you know, struggling a little bit and then beating him. But like that's kind of like the same thing that every fighting game kind of has in common. There's always a tournament, you know, and everybody goes in and beats the crap out of each other and try to be number one. You know, I mean, Mortal Kombat. You know, they're at Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. You know, the World Warrior tournament or whatever. Tekken, King of Iron Fist tournament. You know. So I feel like there's only so much you can tell story wise, and by now we've seen it like time and time again that, you know, it sort of kind of sucks now. It's kind of getting old.
Yeah,
there's only so much you can do. That's
very
formulaic.
But yeah, I mean, I wish I could, like, Battle of Gods. I did not, you know, expect to leave that theater thinking that Goku lost. Like, I really like that ending. Like, he gave it everything, even with his new power up, like becoming a god and still losing.
I feel like, well, you know, I guess I'm gonna go into my thoughts on the movie. You know, as soon as they got announced, I'm like, all right, you know, the name's kind of dumb, Dragon Ball superhero. And then I started seeing, you know, the concept art, and I guess the trailer was very deceptive, if I do say so myself, because of the trailer, I kind of already hated it before it came out. You know, because I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be Gohan again. You know, it's all Gohan. So, and I hate Gohan, bro.
Gohan's such a good character.
The thing is, like, Gohan is basically the Superman of Dragon Ball, dude. Okay,
no, and I will say this. I'm talking to Jordan. I have this theory about how Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is almost as strong as Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Whenever, you know, when it was first announced, like, he's Super Saiyan 2 and now Goku Super Saiyan 3. But I think this proves my point a little bit more, and the reason of that is because Gohan's potential grows as he ages, and I don't mean his potential as in like he can just get stronger. Like Gohan, there's a potential inside of, like, I feel like everybody, but Gohan's potential just rises way more than anybody else because he got his power unlocked in the Meiken Saga, right, by Guru Man, whatever, and then from there, like a few years, he became Super Saiyan 2. And then 7 years later, you got Ultimate Gohan, who is stronger than Gotenks, Piccolo, Super Buu, all that, whenever Super Buu was, like, absorbed, right? So you got that, and then you got Beast Gohan now, which I hate saying that, Beast Gohan.
I feel like they should have came up with a better... First of all, I feel like they should have come up with a better design, man. Like,
yeah,
it looks
it's
fucking
literally
terrible, my
GT, not GT, just AF, I think is what it's called. The Dragon Ball fan thing. That's what it looks like. It just looks like a fan-made Gohan character.
But then, you know, everything you just said kind of reinforces what I was saying. Like, I feel like Gohan is the Superman of Dragon Ball. Superman basically never had to work for anything. Like, you know, his powers were his powers from the get-go. Same as Gohan. Like, he had all that potential in him. Like, he really hardly ever had to work for anything.
No, dude, he's like Batman.
It was understood. It was understood that because he's a hybrid, he potentially was going to be stronger than, like, you know, full-blooded Saiyan, which makes no fucking sense in my opinion. But be that as it may, he was basically given, written to like be Goku's replacement or whatever you want to call it, and he was supposed to, from the get-go, be that strong. Same thing with Superman, dude. He always had that potential in him, and they never really explored, how awesome he could have been. And I was listening to your podcast, like I was telling you earlier, and then I got to that point where in the beginning you talked about how I stopped playing Kakarot because of the Gohan thing.
Oh man, yeah, dude, it's such a. I got platinum in that now. I have platinum in like very, very few games. I got all Kingdom Hearts, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, and Kakarot.
But see, like that kind of like tells you not just how much I hate Gohan, but like how much they ruined the character for me. Like they made him into such a whiny crybaby, and if you go back and you really like watch, everything Gohan was in, all the major arcs, there's always somebody getting their ass handed to them or somebody getting killed because of him.
I mean, that's not a lot. I mean,
so like,
yeah,
because he refuses to pull the trigger when he needs to.
Yeah, Gohan can be a little bitch, but he's also a badass.
I mean, the only reason he transformed to Super Saiyan 2 is because, you got triggered by 16, basically.
Which is weird, because he saw his daughter about to die, which he thought was Piccolo, He thought his daughter was about to die, and then he just gets power up. But 18 is the one that triggers him? Like,
oh my god, dude. That's what I'm saying, like...
Krillin should be worried.
The point where he was about to get redeemed was, in my opinion, was Ultimate Gohan. He shows up, throws hands for like 2 minutes, and then gets too cocky and gets absorbed. Like, bro.
Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but every time Gohan gets a big power up, like when he does that, he always gets over cocky, like overconfident. Like, remember in Super Saiyan 2, he was just taking out Cell and all the Cell Juniors and Goku and everyone else, just fucking kill him. He's like, no, I'm gonna make him torture. I'm gonna torture him, make him pay for what he's done, And everyone's like, no, just finish the job. He's like, nah.
That's my point, man. like he never pulls the trigger when he needs to. Like, he never has.
Gohan is such a gentle figure, right? Even when he turns Super Saiyan...
Put it fucking gentle, man.
No,
Goku was a gentle figure.
Listen, like, even when he goes Super Saiyan 2, you got the little bird and stuff because, 16 was into nature and all this other stuff. Like, Gohan is a gentle figure, and he doesn't want to hurt people. He hates to fight, right?
But which also makes him a terrible fucking Saiyan, if you ask me.
Yeah, but he just doesn't like to hurt people. That's just how it is. And I think that's the reason why I used to relate with him back in the day. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't like hurting people either, man.
Get out of my apartment, bro.
But like yeah. But when he goes Super Saiyan, or not Super Saiyan 2, but like when he gets a stupid power up and he's overconfident, that just goes out the window. He likes to fucking like hurt people. Like,
when?
What? He does.
When?
No, when he's like, no, Cell needs to fucking just like torture or whatever. And then Ultimate Gohan, like, instead of just finishing him, he just wants to fucking like beat his ass for a bit. Like, he doesn't want to. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, whatever. He could have just killed him there, but no, the dude wants just to fuck with him and just like make him feel pain. Like, he enjoys giving people pain whenever he gets that power up.
I guess, you might say, you specifically might say he turns into a sadist. I say he just becomes a dumbass. He refuses to fucking pull the trigger.
I feel like he's such a gentle person, but then when he gets that power up, he's just like, I want to torture.
It's like he has the potential to literally eliminate just about any fucking threat Dragon Ball's had since, he's been around. And he just, for one reason or another, he doesn't do it. There's always somebody that has to get hurt or killed even before you can actually pull the trigger. And even then, he fucking hesitates. So for, good example, like you said, Super Saiyan 2, you're like, oh, this is it, man. He's going to kill Cell. What does he do? He fucking plays with Cell Juniors, and then he tries to fuck around with Cell for a while.
He kills all the Cell Juniors one hit just to show Cell, like, hey, like, these people ain't shit to me. And then he like fucks with Cell like constantly. And there's a lot of times where they tell him like, hey, just fucking finish the job, and he's like, nah. And then his dad gets blown up, and Like, I guess that didn't do much either.
But yeah, that's the other thing. Like, okay, his dad fucking sacrificing means nothing, but this fucking robot bitch that he knew for like 5 minutes actually like triggers him.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
But to show how strong he can be, dude, I'm sorry. This is what I'm talking about. Like, how strong do you think Super Saiyan 2 Goku would have been with a perfect cell at the end of Cell?
Probably not that much of a difference, really.
Yeah.
But, okay, but then I'm not denying the fact that Gohan at Super Saiyan 2 was like insanely powerful. You know, I'm actually telling you, he is powerful.
Well, my theory that pisses off Jordan is because I think that Gohan Super Saiyan 2 is like just a little bit notches below Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, like I think Vegeta Super Saiyan 2 or Goku Super Saiyan 2 fighting Perfect Cell probably wouldn't be that much of a difference. Maybe they'll take him out no problem, maybe not. I don't know. But whenever he fought Cell at the end, when he finally like took him out, he even said multiple times, like, I only have 50% of my power. Like, his arm was broken, and he says, I don't even have half of my power. And they're like, you got 50% is all you need, whatever. And so when he finishes Perfect Cell, he finishes him with 50% of his power. So imagine if him at 100%, how strong that is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know,
I honestly wouldn't disagree with you. But, you know, at the same time, like, it just reinforces what I just said. He's got so much fucking potential and he refuses to pull the trigger.
No, dude. He just doesn't. Yeah, true.
Like, I don't know, man.
Wait, I forgot the movie. How did Cell die? Cell Max.
The Makakon Sapo, the special being.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. Like,
I mean, look, all right, let's go back to the movie. I'm going to give you my thoughts real quick. So, you know, trailer did it no justice because from the get-go, it's kind of like, it appears that it's going to be a Gohan-centered movie. When you actually watch the movie, you come to realize that it's a Piccolo story.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's a very much Piccolo story. Like, Gohan's a side character. And
I've always loved when they give secondary characters like the light, man, or the spotlight. You know, a lot of people hate the episodes leading up to the Tournament of Power because, you know, I mean, it is kind of bullshit. You know, like Goku goes, looks for him, they like throw hands, and then all of a sudden they reach like a new power level. You know, the whole Krillin thing I thought was bullshit. But
wait, what Krillin thing? Which part?
Because the whole fucking episode about Krillin, when he's like afraid of fighting or whatever.
Oh yeah, Krillin's never really been afraid that much. Like, yeah, he's like nervous, but he's not so afraid he's not gonna fight.
And I think I mentioned it to you before that the one thing that I love about Krillin is that even though he knows he's gonna fucking potentially die, he's still your bro. Like, he's still got your back. He's still there, like, to the fucking end, bro. And that episode kind of just threw all that shit out the window. But anyway,
yeah.
So what I was trying to say is, like, I love episodes where we see the other characters. We don't talk about Goku, or it's not necessarily a Goku-centered episode, not even a Vegeta episode. But I like the fact that, you know, we had a Tien episode. Tien is probably one of the, in my opinion, he should have been one of the finalists in the Tournament of Power, just because of the sheer amount of fucking techniques that this guy has. The Four Witches technique, the fucking what is it, when he splits himself into like multiple Tiens.
He can also grow arms.
Yeah, well that's the Four Witches technique.
Oh, okay.
But like he's like an actual martial artist. I guess like we kind of deviated from that whole aspect in Dragon Ball Z. But Tien, he has so much fucking potential. He was kind of holding back Imperfect Cell for a good while, you know? And I feel like that's a character that's kind of underused, to be honest. Like, if you look back at his history and like everything, like that motherfucker is a warrior. You know, he is like a legitimate warrior.
Isn't the story of Tien that like his third eye wasn't there, but he awakened his third eye?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Arts? Like, and that's like early on in Dragon Ball lore, bro. You know, but like I think at that point it was him as a fucking teenager. Like, he unlocked that fucking potential on his own, you know, and then he just grew from there. But that's what I'm saying. You know,
I can tell you why Tien's being held back.
Oh my god. Here we go.
Chatsu.
Get out.
If Chatsu wasn't with him 24/7, Tien would be like a god. He would get Ultra Instinct before Goku.
Honestly, if anyone should get like a new fucking power level or form, I would have picked him before Piccolo. And not that I'm hating Piccolo, because he's actually a really cool character, but you know, just based on everything I just mentioned, like he had so much potential. He's I mean, hell, dude, he's got his own martial arts school now, apparently. So like he stayed on that like martial artist life, you know. And yeah, I would have chosen him to be a good leader. As a matter of fact, he would have made a better strategist than fucking Gohan did in the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, probably.
I kind of felt like Gohan was a bit pointless in there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was. He was just. I do not remember one thing he did.
I feel like they just fucking gave him Goku just gave him a spot just because it's his son. And but if you want to get triggered, in my personal opinion, I would have gone with Yamcha as opposed to Gohan. But that's not the fact that I hate Gohan. It goes back to the fact that Yamcha is a really good fighter.
Not anymore. Didn't he give up after he got fucked up by Android 20 or Dr. Zero?
He kind of did, but that doesn't alter the fact that like because I've been rewatching Dragon Ball Super. You know, like as a matter of fact, that's what we were watching right before I left the house today.
I'm sorry, dude.
But up to that point, he mentions to Beerus how like, you know, he's still training and all that stuff. He makes a remark about that, and I'm okay, so I guess he kind of took a break from it or whatever. But then like if you go back and watch, you know, the Tournament of Power arc or everything leading up to it, you know, he wants to be asked to be in the tournament. You know, I think at one point he even mentions that he's training.
Who was all in the Tournament of Power? So we got obviously Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Tien, Yamcha, Roshi, 17,
18,
Frieza. Krillin, and Frieza. Was Krillin in it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He was the first one that got taken out.
Yeah. I would say actually having Frieza in it was pretty cool.
Dude, just having Roshi, man. I don't know. I like a lot of the secondary characters.
Well, Tien versus Roshi.
What about it?
Who do you think would win?
I think we kind of had a similar discussion, me and Jordan, at one point. You know, back when like Dragon Ball Super was kind of like I guess still coming out like every week. And we were always coming up with theories. And at one point I did make the point, I guess, that when the Goku Black story arc was happening, I'm like, you know what? There is one thing that they can do against him, because you know they mentioned how he's fucking unkillable or whatever. And I mentioned it, the EVO containment wave. Because King Piccolo at one point he was believed to be unbeatable. So they sealed him off. They couldn't beat him, so they're gonna trap him. And then next thing you know, like a couple episodes later, they're gonna learn the fucking EVO containment wave. I'm like, and I've always said that like even though Master Roshi is old, that motherfucker's got so many techniques that are just off the wall. Like even in Dragon Ball, he had so many like random shit that he was throwing out there, you know, because he had experience. And he mentions that during the Tournament of Power when he's fighting that bird guy. You know, he's like, you may be younger and stronger than me, but you lack the experience. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing, you know, because it's true. He's old. He's not as spry as like the fucking teenager bird guy that he was fighting. He's not as powerful, but he's got more experience in fighting. So, and he's been around longer than Tien. So if it came down to like, I guess, sheer skill level, like skills, I would say Roshi would probably beat him on the long run.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you have any favorite moments in Super? I have two. I can tell mine first. You want to tell yours?
Go ahead.
I guess the one of them is whenever Goku's fighting Hit for the first time, and he does it, you know, Kaioken times 10, you know, Super Saiyan Blue. That was pretty badass. So there was that. It was whenever he froze time, or he broke through time. Makes no fucking sense. But it makes no fucking sense. But that moment was amazing, and that was it. But I would say my number one moment is actually episode 11 when he's fighting Beerus, and it's whenever Goku's talking about he wants the power of a god, and Beerus is just like, you don't know what it's like to be a god. Like this
I actually
too much
just
for you.
watched that. That's the one we watched before
he's like,
it came over.
He's like, you don't know what it's like to be a god. Like, you can't handle this. And wait, in the middle of that, he's like, I'll show you where the power of a god is. And he like grabs him by the face, and he's like going all the way down. And as he's like flying down, Goku's just kind of helpless at this point. And Beerus is just like, this is what you want. This is the kind of power you want. This is what's gonna happen when you face someone like me. You're worthless, basically. And he just fucking takes him all the way down to the ground. I'm not sure, but he might do a blast in his face while he does it. But he shoots him on the ground, or he like pretty much from space coming all the way down and hitting like the ground and just.
That was such a fucking hardcore thing to
God, that was
bro.
so good. I got chills watching that for the first time.
I feel like my personal favorite moments were just that whole Beerus arc, man, really. Because I feel like Beerus, whenever he was first introduced, he was portrayed as the fucking deity that he is, man. Like, up to this point, we really never seen anyone that powerful. And the thing that makes him scary is that he can flip out on anybody at any moment and just destroy everything. But what makes it even scarier is that we have no idea what his actual true power is. And which I think is good, because that kind of keeps him as a deity, that kind of like keeps him more mysterious, like you kind of respect the character a little more, because you know what he can do, but you don't know what all he can do. So I feel like that whole, the way they played out Beerus in the beginning, like I feel like that was really badass.
What do you know the deal with Black Frieza?
I saw things here and there, but I've been trying to stay away from spoilers so much that, like, as soon as I see something, like, nope, I ain't fucking clicking on this. I'm gonna wait.
That's how I am too, basically. That's why I was asking you. Like, I don't know anything about it, but
I feel like I spoiled so many things. We keep getting sidetracked, but going back to the movie, that's one of the things that I avoided so much, like spoilers, because I know it came out in Japan like a month earlier. And by then, like, everywhere I looked on social media, there's always, like, people with video clips, that they took at the movie theaters. And I'm like, nope. Like, I knew about...
I don't know what the fuck that was. I have no idea.
It was the government. Bush. No, but, like, I knew about Cell Max before, like, I got a chance to actually see it in theaters. And I got to see, like, Piccolo's transformation and Gohan, and that kind of did kill the movie a bit for me. I'm not gonna lie. I
didn't see the transformations, but I did hear about Cell Max.
So I was just, it kind of killed like major points. But anyway, I love the fact that it was a Piccolo story. I love the fact that everything that I bitched about, as far as Gohan goes, Piccolo was bitching about. This motherfucker's lacked in his training. This motherfucker has the potential, but he fucking doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he chews him out pretty hard.
Everything that I've said for years, like even my wife turns to me and she's like, everything you said, like Piccolo's been pointing out, like, because it's true. Like I've been saying it for years. But yeah, like at the end of the day, honestly, like CGI, it kind of grew on me just watching the movie. But it's not something that I would like to see consistently. Yeah,
for sure. Like, I've tried to watch other anime CGI stuff before, and it just doesn't work. Dragon Ball is by far like the best one I've seen, and I think the reason they did it, I'm not sure. Do you have my fucking cat?
Yeah.
Jesus, but he's going.
You got strong opinions about this topic, bro.
No, right? He's just going at it. I don't remember what I was saying. Damn.
CGI.
Yeah, I think the reason they did it is because of the Broly movie. They did small parts of CGI, and honestly, the Broly parts of CGI was like badass. Like,
my favorite part in the Broly movie was when we see that first-person perspective when he's beating the shit out of Goku. I think. Well, it might have been Vegeta. But it goes into like a first-person perspective from Broly's point of view, and you see him fucking throwing like punch after punch and sending that motherfucker flying back further. Like, I thought that was a really cool point of view, dude.
Broly's by far the best movie so far.
Broly is by far the best fucking secondary character we got now. That's been canon, I guess, now. I always liked Broly, but I think I like the new Broly way.
Oh yeah, because the old Broly, I mean, he's cool, his design and stuff, but he has no personality. And But the new one
I like
does.
everything about the new one. I like the personality. I like the design.
Yeah.
I like that. He's just the fucking sheer monstrosity of a power that he fucking holds, man. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing him holding his fucking own against like Super Saiyan God Vegeta on his fucking base form. That was pretty cool, dude. Dragon Ball superhero. I liked it better than I thought I would, just because it once I watched it, I'm like, oh, it's not a Gohan movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a Piccolo movie.
What I heard, who's that guy who does the drawings for the manga now for Toriyama? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
Akira Toriyama doesn't do the super drawings.
Like Toyotaro or something?
Yeah, him. So, this is what I heard. The Super movie was supposed to be just a Piccolo movie. That's what Toriyama said. He's like, hey, this is my next idea. This is the next movie. And Toyotaro was actually one that fought back against it, trying to get Gohan in there. And, like, talking about how, like, Gohan's not used. But he's saying, hey, we should put Gohan in this since we're doing Piccolo because they're so close together. And that's how Cell came about and everything else. So, originally, I think it was just supposed to be Piccolo and that was it. Which I don't know what they would have done.
I like
with
that they brought in. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I like that they brought in 18 and Krillin. I like that they brought in. I guess. Gohan, I guess, kind of like at the end, he became. I wouldn't say more likable character, but he actually did put in some work. I'm not gonna deny that. The design, it's atrocious, man. I don't like it. He looks like a fucking troll doll, bro.
That is true. Did you say for the post-credit scene? I didn't, but I heard what happened.
I did. That was kind of fucking weird, man.
Vegeta actually won, right?
Technically, he won. He managed to, like, I guess, land a hit and not get or he wasn't the first one to basically get tired out. Mm-hmm. But what I thought it was fucking weird was Broly watching the whole thing and he's fucking crying. Like,
wait, he was crying?
Yeah, it's like he's looking. He's got tears and shit. And what's the Lemo, the little alien guy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's sitting next to Broly. He's fucking crying. Like, they just saw the most beautiful fucking thing in the world.
Oh,
like they're so amazed that they literally have tears rolling down their fucking face. I was like, what the fuck was that all about? Like, I don't know. I just never expected Broly to do some shit like that.
See, he has heart too, man.
I mean, he's got personality now.
Yeah,
he was a fucking one-dimensional character back in Dragon Ball Z days.
He looks cool. That's about it.
Yeah,
he's very strong.
I mean, but I like the fact that they brought the giant Piccolo, giant in the making.
Yes,
back.
that
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't really care so much for Cell, to be honest. It's never one of my favorite characters, first of all.
He's okay, but I would say of all the Cell forms, the second one is by far my least favorite.
I never really cared for him.
Yeah.
I felt like that whole saga dragged on way too fucking long, in my opinion. And it kind of like, if I was to like Cell at one point, it kind of killed it for me.
I think that saga was just too much of, oh no, he's the bad guy. Actually, he is. No, he is. Because first year, 17, 18. Actually, no, it was Dr. Gero.
Dr. Gero.
No, and then I think it was Cell after that. So.
But yeah, I mean, I feel they could have brought back any character but Cell. But on that same fucking side, I guess, they could have created any original character. Mm-hmm. It's just cannon fodder at that point. It's just an excuse for Gohan to power up, really.
Yeah, I get the whole bringing back the original stuff, whatever. Frieza was okay. I think Cell's a bit much. I don't think we really needed a Cell. I would have been okay to have something like Cell and say, it's kind of made the same way as him. So,
because I originally thought they were going to do something like that because, I heard something about like, this is gonna kind of tie in with Dr. Gero and like androids and stuff like that, and I'm like, all right, maybe they'll do something like Cell. But I didn't want them I didn't want them
Cell.
to actually bring back Cell, bro.
Yeah.
At that point, when I found out it was Cell, like,
I don't even know if it's really Cell. He was just like angry
and then
beast.
they did the same shit in the movie because you thought the fucking androids, the Gamma 1 and 2 were the enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And oh no, it turns out it's fucking what is it? Cell Max or whatever the fuck they call it.
I don't think they really made them the enemies, but in the trailer it seemed like it was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the trailer, that's one of the many trailers that I've seen that do not do the actual movie justice. You know, that and any movie really. I'm not Dragon Ball specific. Like one of the ones that I was talking about is John Wick.
You know, okay. Speaking of my kid, I took my kid to go see it, right? And I showed him some Gohan clips and stuff beforehand. I'm trying to hype him up and stuff. And I get them all hyped up, and I'm showing these clips, especially Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, you know. And then I was like, this is him as a kid. He knows him as a kid because he's been watching Dragon Ball, but he's still in the Saiyan arc, I think, or just got past it. Either way, Gohan's still a kid, so he doesn't know adult Gohan. Anyway, we end up watching it, and I did show him Super Saiyan 2 before we watched, but he's still a teenager. And I told him he's like adult now. And even though they say Gohan all the way through the movie, like afterwards, I got gas after the movie, and he goes, I thought Gohan was gonna be in it, and I'm like, no, like there was Gohan. I showed him. He's like, no, you're kidding me. He still doesn't believe me. He still doesn't believe that was Gohan. I'm like, no, that was Gohan.
I wish I could have that mentality, man. I thought Gohan was gonna be in it.
And he thought, I explained to him that that's Gohan. He's like, nah, that's not Gohan. I know what Gohan looks like. I'm just like, okay, I give up. No, he likes watching Dragon Ball. He really likes Naruto too, but Dragon Ball he really likes. Let's see, I think besides Goku, I'm not sure. There goes my cat again. Jesus.
Is the cat or is the kids upstairs?
The shit is this kid upstairs. The meowing is me.
I hope it's not you, bro.
We have a cat named Leonard, and if he wants something, he's just extremely annoying.
That's every cat, man.
No,
that's why I fucking
we
hate
got two other
bro.
cats. Jasmine is a bitch. Baby Man's just a fucking weirdo.
It still sounds like a cat to me, like
And-
every fucking cat. Everything you describe just describes every fucking cat.
Nah, Leonard is just. If we could get rid of him, honestly, and I wouldn't bat an eye. Just. I tell her multiple times.
That's
I'm
how
like,
I feel about Crackhead.
I'm
man.
like-
my sister's dog.
mm-hmm.
Well, his name is Dante, but we fucking call him Crackhead because he's a fucking crackhead.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that he's been doing lately is he's been escaping the backyard like so much. But other than that, we got him fixed because there's a whole fucking story to that. But the point is, we got him fixed, and allegedly that's supposed to kind of calm his ass down or whatever. It fucking didn't matter to him. It didn't matter that he got his fucking ball snipped. Like
He's probably more mad. He's probably
what he does to show his fucking dominance. Like dogs pee on everything. This motherfucker takes shits. He takes it a step further, bro.
He's been escaping the fence looking for his balls, man.
He's been escaping the fence just because he can, and he knows that he can.
Do you know where it's coming from?
So like we have that other bigger dog. So what this motherfucker does, because we've actually witnessed it, or not witnessed it, we found the clues like twice already. We tied up the big dog and we tied up Crackhead separate, like far, like on the other side of the yard. And somehow Crackhead will find a way to get out. He goes to the big dog and chews up the collar to get him loose. And he gets the bigger dog to dig a hole like under the fence so they can get away. And I patched so many fucking holes, it's not even funny. But we've actually come across that scenario at least 2 times. Because just today we got another fucking collar for the big dog.
Damn.
He's smart, man. That little fucker is smart. It's just, he's a fucking crackhead.
Man, is there like catnip for dogs?
I don't know. There probably is. Or edibles or something.
I'd like to give him some, just see what it'd be like. I know whenever we broke into your house illegally, without your permission, to go in your
Yeah,
backyard.
that's usually how you break into houses without permission.
Yeah, to put the
Otherwise,
big
you just
food.
get invited.
Dude, that little dog had me shit bricks because you have that big dog, and he was pretty cool. But when that little dog started like going crazy, that big dog started going a little crazy.
No, that motherfucker rules over the big dog. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you that. So if the little dog does not like you, he'll do his dog thing and rile up the bigger dog to get on his side.
Dude, it was scary. Like we were in the middle of the fence. Like they were pretty much okay. And then by the time we got to the middle of the fence, he started going crazy. And then big dog, me and Jordan's like, dude, like, dude, it was a scary sight.
How the fuck did we get so sidetracked, man?
Dogs and Dragon Ball. Majin Buu had a dog.
True, I guess.
And it died, and that's what created Super Buu. And Super Buu made Evil Buu.
And now we got Gohan with fucking troll hair. But yeah, my thoughts is like the movie was better than I thought it was gonna be. I like the fact that it was a Piccolo story, not a Gohan story. I hate Gohan's transformation. I'm not too fond of Piccolo's look. He just looks bulky as shit. But I do like the fact that they finally gave the man a new power level. I feel like he deserved it, and by that means, I feel like most any other secondary character deserves it.
How strong is that power level though? Like,
it's I don't think it's been explained like yet, but I feel like in future arcs we're actually probably gonna see this actual potential. Because the one thing that I did think was bullshit as far as new power level goes, how fucking number 17 could throw hands with Super Saiyan Blue because he fought animals in the island or whatever.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does not make fucking sense, bro.
Dude, imagine, could you fight a boar?
Could you fight your cat for like 7 years and be stronger?
Probably, but could you fight a boar? Could you fight a boar? If a boar, meet one-on-one with a boar.
I'd knock that son of a bitch out, bro.
You think so?
I think so.
How much of a challenge do you think it'd be?
It'd be a fucking challenge.
Okay, so say if he kept doing that for 17 years. You'd be a lot stronger, huh? A lot better.
No.
Yeah, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you
Not
would.
to the point where I'm gonna throw hands with fucking Super Saiyan Blue.
Bro, you could take out a guard at that point.
Which, on a similar note, there was a man who fought fucking bears.
Can I get sidetracked again?
Oh yeah, we're getting.
So I'm gonna tell you a work story. Okay.
Get the fuck out, bro.
I rode with somebody Saturday. Okay. I'm out here in Rome, and I'm delivering in Rome. And I'm being trained right now. I'm at a new place. And this guy goes, I'm training, he goes, oh man, this is the governor apartments. Just don't get shot. I'm like, okay.
What?
I'm like, okay. And it's number, maybe I shouldn't say the number, but it's on the 3rd floor. I'll say that. And to go into the house, you're like out on the balcony. And I have this small package, and then I'm at the door and I ring the bell, and I'm sitting there for a minute. And I'm just like kind of walking, this dude just eyeballing me hard on the side. And he's like shaking his head at me, just.
The fuck?
I know. And he's just shaking his head. He's making eye contact and he's shaking his head. I'm just like, okay. And I rang the door, rang again, and then I knock, whatever. And then someone on the ground floor, because I'm on the balcony, right? And someone like over there by the grass on the 1st floor, and he goes, hey. I'm like, yes? He goes, she ain't going to answer. I'm like, wow. It's like, she deceased. I'm like, what?
What the fuck?
She deceased. I'm like, oh, when did that happen? She's like, I don't know. They found the body last night. Like,
The fuck?
and I'm over here with this package, and I'm just like, okay. And I go back to the guy, and the dude's been walking with me just about every time, right? Just what's that? This time he sent me on my own. And so I go back to the truck, and I'm just like...
That makes sense, man. He told you not to get shot, and he was smart enough to stay in the fucking truck.
Yeah, bro. And I open the door, and he's like with the pack, and I had the package in him with my hand, and he's just like, why you gotta get the package still? And he's just like, what happened? I'm like, dude, don't ever send me out my own bump out here again. And I just tell him, like, she's deceased and whatnot. And he's like, well, shit. I was like, I don't want to put a code on this, because we gotta put codes on them if we take them back. He's like, not in? Like, forever? Like, what do you put on this? And I know it's bad to laugh at that, but I mean, like, you delivered her package who someone is gone now, and you're just like, what the fuck do I do? It's been interesting. Just a few weeks ago, or not even a few weeks ago, I've only been there for 2 weeks, a few days ago probably, I actually went to a gas station and I was just showing off these magic tricks I used to do back in high school.
Oh my god!
I
think I remember you mentioned something about I want to be a magician.
Yeah, I don't want to be a magician, but I like blowing people's minds. It's fun. But anyway, I was doing a trick with a jacket, right? And I had a table next to me. I even had my drink on it. And dudes, like if you, I'll mention it. So the truck we had was messed up and it couldn't go in park, and so he had to stay in neutral. So he was staying with the truck to keep it from like rolling anywhere. So yeah, that was a thing. So he couldn't be next to me, but I was like pretty far away from him at a table, and at the table I was showing him, like, he's like, oh, watch this trick, and I got I put the jacket on and I started putting my hands down like this. When I put my hands down, my hands are down on the table and I'm looking to my left sideways, right? And then we've been fucking with each other all day, like me and this dude. He goes, dude, fucking run! And I'm like, nah. And I just like slowly turn my head, and as I like turn my head, there's just like a shit ton of wasps, like all over the place, dude. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? And I started to like run a little bit, and as I'm trying to get out, I just felt like fucking sting. And I'm like, fuck. And I was just like, I took the jacket off because I was scared there's one of them in the jacket. I'm over throwing it. I don't know whose jacket it was. It was a jacket we found, but
it wasn't even your jacket.
No, it was in the truck, but I wanted to use it for the magic trick. But yeah, I just threw it on the ground. I'm just like, fuck. And then I was just like, man, that shit hurts. You know, I'm showing him. He's like, you allergic? I was like, I have no idea. I've never been stung before.
We'll see in about 5 minutes.
And that same dude had a fucking nosebleed. Like, it was a shit day. He had a huge nosebleed. I got pictures. I can show you.
I'm good, bro.
He's just like driving his truck and he's like holding his hand up and there's just blood everywhere. Yeah. It's a crazy time. Crazy day. Yeah. But sorry, yeah, I was just thought about how the last day I was at work, I delivered a package to someone who was deceased, and it was a very awkward.
Should've kept it, man.
Awkward experience. Yeah, I was like, is this package up for grabs? No. That'd be crazy. Yeah, we came back and we toured the terminal. Like, hey, what are we supposed to put on this? He's like, I don't know. Bad address. Like, they moved permanently. Like, I don't know. So
should have dropped it off at the cemetery, bro.
Oh, we started actually making not jokes about that, but jokes about something else. I would tell you after the podcast because I think it's a bit too much for the podcast. Oh my god! If you just want to remind me, it's pretty good though. But we've been going for like an hour and 21 minutes. You want to cut it?
Yeah.
Got any topics you want to talk about?
We could go for at least another 10 minutes.
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah. You got anything else you want to add before we?
You're not into Game of Thrones, though, right? Because I was telling you about the House of Dragon thing.
Nah, not really.
Are you gonna watch it?
Not really.
Damn. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you. Okay. So, the last episode 3 of the House of Dragon, the one we watched, I haven't been really into it that much. 1 and 2. Don't tell her. But episode 3, the ending of 3 was actually fucking badass. So I'm just gonna give you some context. They're in a war with these other people on it's like the sea, but they're hiding in caves. They're trying to get them out of the caves, but they can't get them out. And it's just a big war and they don't know how to get them out. And the king's brother has been fighting this war, and this war's been going on for about 2 years. Like, they've been in battle for like 2 years, basically, and they just can't. There's no winner. Anyway, after a while, the king says he's gonna send help to his brother finally, right? And the brother is like very hot-headed and whatnot, but when he gets the word, the messenger comes and tells him like, hey, I'm sending you help. The brother sees it and just fucking beats the shit out of the messenger, like beats the living fucking shit out of him, like very brutal. And then he goes out, this motherfucker goes out into a boat, a straw boat, going to the battle scene by himself, like without anybody, and he puts up like a white flag. And the white flag, all the people start coming out of the cave, and this is like the leader, of the other team. Like the brother, he's the brother's king's brother. So he puts the white flag, and so they start to get him. And when they start to get him, it's a trick. So he just pulls out a sword, stabs the dude, and then like the whole army just starts running at this dude. And not only that, they have archers on top of the caves, so they're like shooting a bunch of archers. And so it's like raining arrows just flying through the air, coming down at this one guy. And the king's brother, is just running. It's like Assassin's Creed or some shit. Like he's just running straight to like the other leader, who's behind this army. So he's just running through. He's like just fucking taking out people out like one by one, fucking like Assassin's Creed style. But meanwhile, like arrows are raining. He's getting fucked up too. He's getting arrows in his side. He's like limping and shit. But ends up doing it. And it was badass. It's like a one-man army shit, but believable. It wasn't like super overpowered. Like this dude also got really fucked up. At the end, he's just like that has blood and guts all over him, and just it was crazy. Pretty cool.
I'll probably look up that scene. But
yeah,
I don't think I'm gonna watch.
It's pretty cool. It's a lot of the show, whatever, is a lot of like politics. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows and movies, have you seen any shows or movies here recently that
Bench watched the shit out of season 5 of Cobra Kai last night.
And how was that?
No, I felt like had some good points. I feel like the previous seasons were probably a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not clear whether there's going to be a season 6 or not by the end of it. It's just kind of the last episode. I feel like it didn't resolve much. It just kind of, in a way, just kind of ended.
Give me 1 minute.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome back. So,
I'm not redoing the whole thing.
No, we're not.
I'm just gonna let you.
Damn, this has been a while since this happened. I'm an amateur again. So, we lost about an hour of footage.
Oh my goodness.
Remember I told you, like, we should hear beeping every 30 minutes? It's like an hour and 30 minutes almost, and I'm like, I've not heard a beep once. And then I remembered, like, shit, I set the timer, but I didn't push start on it. Oops. So, we got 30 minutes of footage, and then probably like an hour.
I hope you hit record on that thing.
Oh, yeah. I've never fucked up on recording. But, yeah, on that. No, actually, it wasn't too long ago. It was some episode where I just actually ran out of space on my camera and lost about, like, 30 minutes or something like that. So, not too bad. But, damn, dude. I'm over here fucking being an amateur and shit.
Anyways, play Evil Dead, man. Give it a shot.
How is it?
It's pretty fun. Like it, for I'm gonna say at least a year, maybe over a year. We played Friday the 13th like every fucking day. Me and the wife and my siblings, and because that was a really fun game in my opinion. It was simple, and that's what made it fun. Evil Dead is basically that, but as opposed to Friday the 13th, you don't feel helpless. There's more like action in it, man. Like, you have more ways to defend yourself. I could give you the rundown of like how the game goes, like real quick. Because I wouldn't be spoiling anything. There's like no story. There is like little missions that you do like single player, but it's not anything that's gonna impact the game. So, in the first part, you got to collect 3 map pieces, and you only get one at a time. And you got to wait for the narrator or whatever to kind of drop the clue where it is, like in what area of the map. So, as you're making your way to the area, you can collect different weapons, or every game you collect pink fucks. That's the name of the drink. It comes from the TV show. They call it a pink fuck.
Okay.
And it's apparently like a mixture of like alcohol and like a shit ton of ketamine. So it's like a really powerful drink to fuck you up. That's why it's called pink fuck. So, but in the game they call it pink calves. Anyway, so what those do is they give you like I guess it's got a little bit of like an RPG element, I guess, because you can level up certain things, certain abilities. So, the more you collect, the more you can level up certain skills like melee or range or fear or whatever. So, you have a fear meter, and when it goes up, the guy that's playing as a demon, he can possess your character. So,
Wait, the guy you're playing as what?
Yeah, so there's a guy that plays as the bad guy, like the demon.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like in Friday the 13th, how one guy plays Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So when your fear goes up, the demon player can possess your character. So he'll possess him, and depending on how he builds his skills, and they reset like every game. So it's not like you're gonna keep it, for games or whatever. Depending on how he builds his demon, he could possess you for like a good while, or it'll be one of those things where like maybe after a few seconds it's gone. So when he takes over your body, he has full control of like your character. He could attack the other players and all that stuff.
Does the other players know you're under control?
Yeah, your portrait, your character portrait, where it has your health gauge and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You actually see like all the players' life gauges and stuff. And so like whenever you're possessed, like your portrait changes into like a demon version of you.
Mm-hmm.
And also like in game, the character himself like changes, But so it's kind of like relatively easy to get the demon player like out of the other player's body.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta beat the crap out of him. But I mean, it sounds kind of easy, but like I said, depending on the demon build, it could be a little more difficult. So not only that, but he can summon basic units and elite units, and they basically just come after. It's like bots coming after you. So he can also possess those, and when he reaches a certain level, he can summon a boss character. So once you find all the pieces, they tell you where the 2 items you need to collect are. So you got to go to those areas, and it's like a tower defense type thing where like you go and activate it's a dagger and pages. So either you activate the dagger or the pages, and you got to kind of hold your ground for like a few minutes. And during the whole time, the demon player is like summoning. He gets like unlimited fucking power.
Mm-hmm.
So he can summon like a ton of like units. He can bring in the boss if he's leveled up that far, and set up like traps and stuff. And the traps, basically like when you run into them, it'll just unleash more fucking demons on you. But it's like a 4-player game, and you got different classes. You got leaders, you got warriors, hunters, and support. And support, they're your healers, So like I play support. I play Pablo, and I feel like support after the patch like a few days ago, I feel like they're kind of worthless now. But as support, whenever you pick up a health item and you like drink it, because your health items are sodas.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you drink a soda and you're close to like your teammates, they all heal.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of your job. And when somebody goes down, unlike Friday the 13th, you can actually bring them back. So if somebody goes down, they start bleeding out, you can go and pick them back up. If they die, you can collect their soul and go to like an altar and bring them back. So it's pretty fun. Like you actually don't feel helpless. Unlike Friday the 13th, where you kind of just gotta hide, and every now and then you'll hit Jason.
Is that still going, or they take the servers down?
I think it is, because it's a free game now on the new PlayStation thing.
I saw that and I was like, damn, I thought the servers were down.
It's more like peer-to-peer now. The servers are not dedicated servers anymore. But it's more like peer-to-peer. Like if you find other people that are playing, I guess you connect with them or whatever. I don't know how that works exactly, but I feel like this game is doing everything Friday the 13th did that was good, and made it kind of better.
Which is good, because Friday the 13th was really good, but it just got held back by that fucking lawsuit, and they couldn't do anything.
They killed it like before it took off, man.
Yeah.
And so like, but yeah, you collect the pages, you collect the dagger, and then you gotta fight the dark ones, which is like, it'd be the equivalent of like a big tower,
Mm-hmm.
And what it is like 4 giant demons, and they kind of surround the Book of the Dead, and you got to take them out, And like I said, during the whole time, the guy that's playing the demon is trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get demonic energy. That's like his power or whatever. he's got to collect so many orbs so he can summon troops and do other stuff. Like each demon has different abilities. So once you take out the dark ones, you got to protect the book from being destroyed. And then if you succeed, that's the end of the game. So in every game it's like that, you know, like it just follows that same gameplay, I guess, mechanic. And it's a simple game. It's just it's, I'm not gonna say better than Friday the 13th, but yeah, it's fucking better.
I mean, I don't think it'd be too hard just because Friday the 13th just had so many like problems with it. Like it did have a lot of problems.
And this one is crossplay.
Oh,
so you can play like Xbox and PC players.
That's a game changer right there.
Oh yeah. It's pretty fun, man. If anything, I'd say give it a chance. It's not even a full price game. I think it's like $30. And for $30 you get both the PS4 and the PlayStation 5 version, I think. So that's how I got it for me and the wife. I bought the deluxe edition, I think, which it might be like $40. But I could download it in 2 different systems.
So when you play with her, are you playing side by side or is she one room and you're in the other?
She's got, until today she had her set up in the living room. She moved it to the bedroom now, but so like I'll play on my TV and she plays on her little setup that she's got on the side. And but yeah, like,
because I got an Xbox in here and I like to do something like that with her, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's crossplay, so I mean, maybe a way y'all could probably bond. It's easy to get into. Like, nothing's really complicated about it. Everything's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, she's really into Among Us, like a lot. So, I don't know, maybe kind of the same.
I mean, in a way, I guess.
Like you got that one person trying to find you, and you're just trying to find a way not to. I guess, but I don't know. I feel like I want to get her into more games.
If anything, watch some gameplay and kind of make up your own thought. Maybe if it's something that you want to try out or not. But
it is something I feel like I want to try out because it's like I like Friday the 13th a lot, but I just can't. I think the glitches is what killed me mainly. Like it was just a lot of glitches. Like a lot.
This one, there's not so many glitches. I feel like there were some people modding on PC. But I feel like they've been doing a fairly decent job at cutting out all that other stuff, like on every update. And like I said, they just now got a new DLC for it. I actually made a couple of walkthrough videos for my brothers because they're like, oh, we can't pass the single player missions. So I kind of like did a walkthrough on all of them. I saved my gameplay yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was for the new single player mission that came out with the DLC, and I managed to pretty much like have it down on the 3rd try, I think. So not trying to get into creating that kind of content, but if anything, that's kind of like something else you could probably check out if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, watch some gameplay. It's very straightforward, very simple. It feels a lot like Friday the 13th. And every character class has different abilities, and every character has different abilities. So everybody's got like a skill, you know, like Pablo, the character I play the most, his skill is creating amulets. So every like 2 minutes or so, I can create an amulet, and that's basically like shields. So, you know, I can hand it to somebody else, or if I use it on myself and they're close by, they'll get a portion of that shield, you know. There's another character that has exorcism abilities. So like if you get possessed and I'm playing as that character, I can use my ability and like free you from the demon like right away instead of having to beat the shit out of you.
Wait, you can just... That's pretty cool. Oh yeah.
And I mean, it makes it fair in a way because like every ability that you have, they have cooldown times.
Keep explaining.
All right.
I'm paranoid.
So yeah, well, let's see, what's another good ability? Cheryl's ability, she'll set down like a healing thing on the ground, and if you're within the aura, like, you know, you start healing. The leaders usually, if you're within range of their aura, that's just their passive ability. I don't think is their actual ability, but if you're close to a leader, your melee and range attacks, they get boosted up. So it's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of an incentive to kind of stick together.
Can you kill the person? Or do you just have to survive them?
You gotta survive them, but...
Because I know in Jason, you can kill him, but it's
you can kill him.
Really hard.
Yeah, well, when he brings out the boss character, that's like his strongest ability, I guess. Mm-hmm. When he brings out the boss character, he does a shit ton of damage and all that other stuff. And every boss character also has different abilities. So, obviously, he's going to be a little overpowered. But if you manage to beat him, he can't use that character for, like, I think almost like 5 minutes or something. No, not 5 minutes, but for a good while. He can't use him. He can't just, like, spawn him repeatedly. Mm-hmm. So, everything has kind of like a give and take. So, for example, even calling basic units, you can only use the basic units every so often. You can't just summon like unit after unit. And also he has to have energy to summon. So I think, for the sake of argument, I'm going to say you can summon a unit, or you can set a trap of that same type. Mm-hmm. So if it's a trap, you get more infernal energy, which is what your demon runs on, and that kind of dictates how much you could do. But if you set a trap, the player has to run into it. But if you choose to just summon the units instead of setting traps,
the traps hard to do, like.
No, they're kind of hard to spot sometimes, like because you see like a little shimmer in the air, like a little, like a ripple, like in the air. But if you're not paying attention, you run into them quite often. There's also like the loot crates.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Yeah, you got like loot crates every now and then that you find, and they range in like variety from like common to like rare and all that stuff. And when you open them up, that's how you get your drinks that level you up. Mm-hmm. But they also usually have like a weapon, and depending on the crate, you'll get like, for example, one of the weapons is like a spike bat. You can find like a common one, which is base, and I think the orange crates are the more powerful ones. So the damage on that is gonna be better. So and
you said it's Evil Dead, right?
Yeah.
So do you actually have the guy with the chainsaw hand?
Yeah. There's like 4 versions of him.
Oh, okay.
Because there's one of every class. Mm-hmm. There's a support, there's a hunter, there's a warrior, and there's a leader. So there's like one of every version, and every one of them has different abilities. So that's pretty cool, man. If I was you, I'd look up some gameplay and kind of like see what you think about it.
I will, because like I said, like the gameplay loop of like Friday 13th was really fun. Yeah, and I did not expect to like it as much as I did at all. But like I said, the glitches just killed it for me. I can't tell how many times I've won a game or escaped, and then it just freeze. That happens so many times, and it kind of makes me not want to play no more.
I haven't come across many glitches on Evil Dead. That's not to say that there is none, but I have gotten stuck like climbing like a window. Mm-hmm. I think it's happened twice, but it's not something that's that common. I would say not like Friday the 13th.
Even if it was, like at least they can patch it. At least they can do stuff. Like like I said, the lawsuit fucked it. Like they literally couldn't do anything to it.
I think last time I got kind of like glitched into a window. Mm-hmm. Like I jumped over it, and all of a sudden it's like my character gets sucked back into the window, and then I can't move. Like I can move, but I just can't escape that window or whatever. So the only way that I could think of, because I could still pick up stuff that was around me, and it's the same button that I used to like drive the cars or get in a car. And I told my wife, I'm like, hey, bring a car, park it next to the window, and I'm gonna see if I can like glitch out of this, like get into it. And that's how like I got out of it. Big brain. She just brings in the car, and I see the prompt come up. I hit it, and my character goes into the car. I was free. It's fun, man. It's fun when you got people to play with, just like Friday the 13th. And even the random people you play with, I feel like there was a lot of the toxic people on Friday the 13th. Whereas this game, like I really haven't encountered many like toxic people.
I'll say like one of my favorite moments of Friday 13th. I was Jason, and this actually happened to like me. Okay, so, but still, it was like you can hear people talk to each other, and if you're Jason, the closer you get to somebody, the better you can hear them, type of thing, right? Anyway, these two guys were in the house, and they're talking to each other, and they're like, "Hey man, hey, he's coming. You know, they're like freaking out, and he's like, "Where you at?" He's like, "I'm under the bed." He's like, "Wait, are you in the same drawer as me? Whatever." He's like, "Yeah, I'm in the closet right next to you." Whatever. He's like, "Wait, we're in party chat, right?" Or whatever. Like, they was talking like that. And as I was saying, like, "Oh, we're in party chat," like I like into the bed, and nothing happens. And then I hear their voices go away, like, you know, they're running away. They're like, "That fucking dumbass fell for it," or whatever.
Oh my God.
I was like, that was pretty fucking good. Like, it was pretty fun. What was that lawsuit about anyway?
It's basically one of the like original writers or something wanted more money.
Yeah, and that was something from episode 1.
Because from like the first movie, he basically claimed that he kind of helped create the character of Jason. So like that's kind of a big thing in Friday the 13th. I mean, it is sort of like
the main character.
Yeah, the main character. And so because of that, they had to stop anything as far as updates and stuff.
Watching because like everyone's so woke.
Yeah, like until the fucking case was resolved, which I think is not even resolved yet.
I think it's still ongoing.
Yeah, because they actually had a script for a new reboot, and they were already casting for it. And when that shit happened, like they stopped work on that movie altogether.
That's one guy's fucking up the whole thing. Jeez.
Which, fun fact, technically speaking, Jason is a Deadite, which is the things that you fight in Evil Dead. You fight Deadites. They're demons.
Yeah. But yeah, watch him be woke and instead Jason, you're going to fight like Jessica and just make him to a girl.
Man, I wouldn't fucking doubt it nowadays. But that will be a fucking topic for another podcast, because I do have plenty to say on that new Resident Evil show, because it's the wokest thing ever, apparently.
Okay, yeah. Are you want to come back for any more Resident Evil on 1? And 2, are you still wanting to do a Metal Gear
Sure,
Gamecast?
Yeah, I'm down.
What's his name keeps asking me about it, and I was like, I can't always forget.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm working back at the school, like, I should have a little bit more free time, but I just have to fucking manage it, you know. But I definitely still want to do all that.
Yeah, like if you can, let me know, because I can set that up for a Gamecast and whatnot. But yeah, Nick keeps asking me about it. He's like,
I should have some time during my job.
Yeah.
To like work on some things, kind of at least some notes or whatever, and I'll let you know when I'm ready.
All right, sounds good. So you want to cut it from here?
Yeah, we need to cut it.
Okay.
We need to go take a whiz.
I'm sorry, guys, that you lost an hour of video. That was my fault. I haven't done that in a while, but you got 30 minutes of the beginning, and then however much time it is now. But until the next time, this has been the Sexy Raccoon. Jason Lives, also known as, just because of your shirt.
Yeah.
I keep looking at your shirt every time. But thank you for tuning in for the Famous for Nothing podcast. This has been great, fun. I don't know. I'm really bad at intros. I do this every time. But come back for episode 41. It will be a Gamecast. And it's actually Resident Evil. We've already recorded it. It's already uploaded. It's just in the draft because I have to put another episode out, which is probably be this one. So it'll be episode 41 coming out a week after this one. Resident Evil 2. So see you then. Bye.
I guess that's your like staple outro now. So
yeah.
All right. Hopefully I make it home in time.
Can't believe
Play
I
at
lost
least
an
a
hour of
game or two.
footage.
I'm gonna go use your cam, bro. I really need to go.
Okay.